Welcome back to Inuyasha Anime Review Part 10. This is reviewing the first of 4 films for the series, and I'm going to start this thing now where after I finish a particular season and after I finish whatever thing basically, and of course it will stop after season 4, after I finish up a season, I'll do one film and then go back to the series. Well, this will kind of basically start with the season 5 while I do the third film. Yep. This film is called Affections Across Time. Yep. Released in, it was like 2001, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was like 2001, 2002. I'm looking up now. Now, I initially thought this movie was in 2001. I initially thought this was released like after season 3 was over with. No, this movie was released between seasons 1 and 2. Yeah, I have. It actually was released how long in seasons? Yeah. Released in December 2001. This movie is particularly a very interesting one. Now, we get basically the Shukan Jewel. We see it at the beginning of the film. It's destroyed. We do see it in the sort of the introduction of the characters per se of how it's destroyed. It's destroyed, and then shards the Shukan Jewel go to this tree and becomes this creature named Minoru, who is later revealed to be the son of an old enemy of Inuyasha's father. I'm like, yeah, the second time in the series, he's actually fought an old enemy of his father. Yeah, he wouldn't do this again. I mean, he previously did this in the actual series itself when he fought that, but I think it's Ragogan, I think his name is, when he first was taught the Backlash Wave. Yep. When he was first taught the Backlash Wave, that was the first one. Of course, that was canon. This one is not, because this film, along with the following 2 films, are anime original because, or at least they're original stories because they're not adapted from any stories in the manga. And he's got 2 henchmen with him, and here's the thing. There's frequent mentions that with these creatures from the continent. Possibly meaning that he, along with his henchwomen, and other creatures that work for him are from frickin' China. Yes. That's my personal guess. And, like, they do, like you first see the gang. Like, first you get introductions to them, I think, when Kagome goes to the past with lunch. And there's a mention about Moroku's wind tunnel in his hand. Don't mention where it came from. Nope. Naraku himself is not even mentioned in this movie at all. He's not even, like, there's not even a cameo by him. Nope. There's a mention of Kikyo, and she does physically appear in the movie. She doesn't do very much. She only is there for like very few scenes. She doesn't do very much, but at least I gotta say this. Unlike the first film from a half, Inuyasha has it where the main focus characters of the series, Inuyasha, Kagome, Shippo, Sango, Moroku, Kilala, these characters actually get something to do in this movie. Yeah. I mean, the first time you see most of the gang, they're fighting a giant scorpion demon, which Moroku says, oh yeah, this is from the continent. Probably just basically slang for, oh yeah, this is from freaking China. Yep. And pretty much, like, they defeat this thing pretty easily. Oh yeah, and they find the Shukan Jewel. It's actually inside the point where the poison is for the giant scorpion. Oh yeah, and Kalala basically is poisoned by this thing. Yeah, it's actually the Marone who's behind this demon. Yeah. Yeah, and he has a thing for, okay. Oh, occasionally, does the Shibuya show the movie? Yes, he does. He doesn't do very much. He shows up for a few scenes. Only affects the movie with a mild plot here and there. He barely affects the movie. Heck, Jock and Ren only appear for like a couple scenes. Yeah, Jock himself does affect the plot a little bit, not very much. Yeah, one of the things that Moroku has is that he's got an army of moths, a humongous army. He's also referred to as the Mothman. Yes, the Mothman. Why in the world that they refer to him as that is beyond me. And also, they kind of hint that this is actually canon, where demons, with the exception of Inuyasha and a few others, cannot touch Tenseiga, which is indeed true. It's about a barrier. Yeah, that's something that Inuyasha's father did to. And Well, I can tell this is before it was broken by one of Naraku's incarnations, so still powered by Inuyasha's father's Fang. So his plan is simple. Now, apparently his father's power, not the actual man himself, the man has been dead for years, at least for a couple of years at this point. Yeah, they say he's from the continent. We vaguely go into basically, we don't even go into the character's backstory. I mean, in the case of Mura, aside from the fact he's the son of an old enemy of Inuyasha's father, and we know his plans, we know almost nothing about this character at all. Also, at one point, Moroku's wind tunnel was taken, basically copied, and I kind of thought, though, that basically at one point Moroku might actually start groping this woman, like he normally does with women. He doesn't. He does it with Sango. He briefly rubs the side of her butt, gets smacked for it, like usual. Yep, and when Moroku basically decides to go because it's the only thing in Washington to break the seal with basically one of his father's fangs. Yes, as for how the heck he managed to use one of his own fangs to steal this guy's power, is not explicitly revealed how the heck he did this. It's just, oh, we have this giant fang protecting the power, somehow. As for how he defeated this guy's father, it's not explicitly revealed. I mean, he just basically sealed his power via his fang. How the heck he accomplished this is never explained in the movie. At least in the case of Panther Davis showed up, at least they actually mentioned, oh yeah, there was a war, and they go a little bit to basically a little bit more information with that. This guy is just almost a nothing villain. His henchwomen are also nothing characters at all. They briefly possess, you think, oh yeah, they treat Kalal, they basically treat her, they cure her poison, and then they have brainwashed her to turn against Sango. For some reason. Oh yeah, they have a stupid phrase in the movie like, demons are born to be controlled. No, they're not. Not at all. Though I should point out this is the English dub of the movie. Yep. Now in case you wonder I got another sub. Yeah, who is voicing the main villain of this movie? He is voiced by Vincent Gale. One of his henchmen was voiced by Venus Tansro. The other one is Lorena Lensberg. Luckily enough that the regular dub cast of the series still is pretty much the same people. Yeah, and then and during the course of the movie, like after the thing gets destroyed thanks to the Tenseiga using Wind Scar on it, then I get vibes of Naruto during the final years of the show, during 14th Inch War, when this thing has a striking resemblance to the Divine Tree. Now, there's a couple theories I have for this. One, Kishimoto probably based... Now, this came out roughly like about 10 years prior to the final arc of Inuyasha for Naruto coming out. My only guess is that possibly that, well, Kishimoto must have got the idea for the Divine Tree, because if you look at this thing in this full form, it kind of looks like the Divine Tree from Naruto. From Naruto, and plus the whole thing about this evil tree in a movie, it kind of gives me vibes of the DBZ film Tree of Might, which it's an okay film. My only problem is that it's one of those films that Goku doesn't go Super Saiyan in. I might review the Dragon Ball Z films at a later date, but I get vibes from that. Yeah. And at one point, because at one point, Kagome gets possessed, because it takes a little while for this to take effect. Like, they try to use the regular thing on her, but apparently because she's got strong spiritual powers, he uses a Charlotte Shukan Jewel, probably the one that basically revived him. How the heck apparently, when you first see him, he's a tree, and then he's transformed into this thing. Yeah, this guy, how the heck came about is very vaguely explained. At least not in English dub. I'm not sure how it's explained in the sub. And he sort of combined the two and put it on Kagome's forehead, and it resists for quite a while until she can slowly possess by the thing. How does he hypnotize her? With a leaf. Act like a harmonica. Excuse me. And pretty much he has her kind of act like Kikyo for 50 years prior to events of the series. Well, the main part of the series. And actually sort of pins Inuyasha to a tree. And then Kikyo, apparently not liking what she's saying, shoves Kagome into the well, which makes her the second character in the series to do this. Actually, like the third character, because the only two characters that have done this in the series, where they basically shoved and forced her back to the modern day, at least pushed back into the well. Yuri Demon Hair did this back at the start of season 1, and Inuyasha himself has done this. She goes back to present day, and the thing is covered by roots. Not by a tree, roots. And like the only way to basically, oh yeah, and apparently the tree that Inuyasha was pinned to, apparently it's a communication device to present day for some strange reason. Yeah, this is from what I remember from the series. This is never explored in the series at all. Aside from the fact this tree exists both in field era and present day, it's never explored to be a communication device. Nope, it never is. Which I think is quite strange. And yet this movie is the only time I've seen it happen. I don't remember happening in the series. So, okay, use an arrow to destroy the roots. She does. Also destroys part of the well as well. Well, part of the wall is the well. And she comes back. Oh, and by the way, Kikyo, after she shoves Kagome through the well, she's seen one other time after that, where it looks like she's fading away, thanks to the fact that when he goes to his sort of divine tree form, is what I call it. Of course, he's sucking up souls across the whole fucking planet. Yes, how the heck he's able to accomplish this, it's vaguely explained. It's his father's power basically responsible for this. Somehow, it's not thoroughly explained. It's like, okay, this is a succession ceremony for his clan. But like, family says, like, what? Yeah, Miyoga just vaguely explains this. Also, Miyoga, half of the movie, is actually tied to Inuyasha's necklace that he has to force to wear in the series. By the way, like, before this battle stuff happens, we have this wonderful picnic scene. By the way, this blanket that Kagome uses, this is actually showed up in the actual series itself, so at least this blanket's actually canon. Everybody's enjoying a good meal, and then Inuyasha gets out ramen for some reason, even though Kagome just made some lunch. Why in the world he wants to have instant ramen, I have no idea. And of course, Kagome's not liking this, so she just goes off. Also, her bike is damaged in the movie. And it shows up like one time. Like, here's the thing about her bike in the movie. It shows up a few times at the beginning of the movie, and after that, they just completely forget about this bike, and it's never mentioned if it's fixed or not. Yeah, it's particularly very weird. And Kagome basically tells him to sit several times. She does it later on at the end of the movie for say something he shouldn't have, and well, there's that. Yep. Pretty much after they defeat, like, it takes a while, but after a good long battle, both Inuyasha and Kagome defeat Moroku. That's the pronunciation of the dub. I'm vaguely pronouncing how to pronounce this guy's name. After defeating him, like, first, Kagome used her arrow to pretty much destroy one of his giant wings, because he absorbed enough souls basically to go to giant-sized form. Yeah, something Power Rangers. And destroys one of his wings. He's like, how dare you? And eventually thinks to combine with Kagome and Inuyasha, a move that was suggested by Miyoga, which destroys the guy, and everything is restored back to normal. Also because of his connection to this Age of Tree stuff, it apparently is causing present day to become an eternal winter. Somehow this is affected by this? Not thoroughly explained. Yes. And of course, everything goes back to normal. And of course, hanging out in Tokyo afterwards. We see some usual stuff in the series, like Kagome, Shippo, and Sangha having a bath, and Moroku peeping on them. Inuyasha does nothing. There's nothing what does do peeping. And well, it's very good credits after that. So my only negatives of the movie: not enough stuff. Basically, the stuff related to the villain's plot of why he wanted to do this is very vaguely explained. It's like, okay, he wants to get his father's power. Why? Why does he want to do this at this particular point in time? Never explained. Like, they say it came from the continent. Where in the continent? Also, they mentioned in the movie that apparently Inuyasha's father ruled the Western lands. Okay, that's actually a big fat lie. Yeah, because in the actual series itself, the Great Demon General had no lands. He did have a house per se, but he didn't rule a whole section of freaking Japan. Yeah, that was completely made up in the movie. By the way, Inuyasha's father is seen briefly in a flashback. You see him in his dog demon form, but that's all you see of him. Yeah. Now, why he fought the guy's father was because he was invading his territory. At least that's thorough explanation. Like, why is at this point he wants to do this? Yeah, the villain's plot is never thoroughly explained at all. It's like we get vague explanations here and there. Also, where the heck did he get where his henchman came from? They say from the continent. They're not very much explained. Like, nothing's explained of these two women at all, or where their power comes from. Yeah, another negative about the movie, aside from the fact the villains was not thoroughly explained, is the lack of mentioning of Naraku. I get not having the movie, fine, whatever. Could you at least mention him? Yes. This is one thing I do have a slight problem with the movie now, because Naraku has got a humongous history of Inuyasha, Moroku, and Sango, but not mentioned. Not mention the fact that the Naraku was responsible for the wind tunnel in Moroku's hand, the destruction of Sango's village and her family, and for what caused Inuyasha 50 years prior. Not mentioned at all. It's like from the voice actor, like, stuff happened, and here these characters are like, okay, fine. I mean, here's some positives. The animation is gorgeous. The fight scenes are fantastic. I mean, most of the story is actually pretty good with the exception of the villain plot. The English dubcast, I think, do a fantastic job what they're given. And, well, that's pretty much it for the positives. If you want to know how long this movie is an hour and 40 minutes, which is about 2 hours. Yeah, it took me a while to basically watch because I had to keep stopping because basically various different things. Going to work, on my break, and when I get home, I had to basically sit down and watch the whole, like also watch on the bus and stop there. Yeah, basically, yeah, it's not due to the fact I had to keep getting up and basically doing something else. It's due to the fact I have work. That's what took so long to watch the movie. Yep. But not much to say about this movie. I would say for the first movie of the series, I give the film a 8.5 out of 10. Yep, that's the rating I give this movie, okay? So yeah, that's it for this particular review. I have pretty much about 3 more videos I'm going to do. My next review is going to be Comic Corner. And after the Comic Corner, well, basically 2 Comic Corners. Like one after this one right now. And next one will be, after that, will be Black Clover. And after that will be another Comic Corner. And that'll be pretty much it for today. Yep, see you next review. Bye.